Today, we are going to talk about a problem that, let's be honest, pretty much all of us face: the constant, nagging fight for our own focus. But what if I told you the answer wasn't some complicated app or expensive course, but a simple kitchen timer? We're about to dig into a technique that is so powerful because it's so simple, and it might just completely change the way you get things done. You know the feeling. We've all been there. You wake up, you've got your coffee, you sit down at your desk, and you are absolutely ready to crush your to-do list. You're motivated, you're ready. And then, well, it happens. The little things start to creep in. Before you know it, you're scrolling through emails you've already dealt with, you're checking your phone for notifications that you know aren't there, or maybe you're just staring off into space, your brain a million miles away. That amazing burst of motivation you started with, it just fizzles out. And what was supposed to be a productive sprint turns into a long, frustrating crawl. And look, it is not just you. In this hyper-connected world we live in, the fight for our attention is absolutely relentless. It makes that state of deep, uninterrupted focus, that flow state, feel almost impossible. But what if there was a way to build a kind of fortress around your attention, using nothing more complicated than a timer?
This brings us to the solution, the Pomodoro Technique. And yes, the origin story is as charmingly simple as the technique itself. It all started with a little tomato-shaped kitchen timer. It's kind of funny, right? But it's the perfect backstory for a method that's become a secret weapon for millions of people trying to get their focus back. So what is this thing really? Well, it was developed by a guy named Francesco Cirillo way back in the late 80s, and the whole idea is to break your work down into these short, super focused intervals. Each little sprint is called a Pomodoro. And yep, you guessed it, Pomodoro is just Italian for tomato, named after that exact kitchen timer he used when he was a student. Okay, so getting started is unbelievably easy. Here's how it works. First, you pick one task, just one. No multitasking. Then you set a timer for 25 minutes, and for those 25 minutes, you give that single task your complete, undivided attention. I mean, no emails, no phone, nothing. When that timer rings, you stop, period, and you take a mandatory 5-minute break. Get up, stretch, do whatever. After you do 4 of these cycles, you've earned a longer break, like 15 or 30 minutes. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 25 minutes? That sounds way too simple to actually work. But trust me, don't let that simplicity fool you. There is some really powerful psychology going on here that makes these little sprints incredibly effective.
I mean, just look at the difference. The old way is this long, unstructured marathon session, right? Where you're basically guaranteed to get burned out, and procrastination is just waiting to pounce. The Pomodoro way completely flips that on its head. It creates a system of short, protected sprints that makes it so much easier to just start and way harder for those distractions to get a foothold. So why is this so effective? Well, it attacks the problem from 4 different angles. First, it kills procrastination. I mean, anyone can convince themselves to work for just 25 minutes. Second, that ticking timer creates a little bit of healthy urgency. It sharpens your focus. Those mandatory breaks, they are absolutely crucial for preventing your brain from just getting fried. And finally, every time you finish a Pomodoro, you get this little hit of accomplishment, which just fuels you to keep going. And the real beauty of this whole thing is how flexible it is. This isn't just for writing a huge report at your desk. You can take this sprint and rest idea and apply it to almost any part of your life. Seriously, its flexibility is its superpower. At work, perfect for deep, creative tasks, but it's also a lifesaver for just methodically blasting through a terrifying inbox. For students, those little breaks are an absolute game changer. They've actually been shown to help you remember information better. You can even use it in meetings. Time box each topic to keep everyone on track and make sure you're respecting everybody's time. All right, so if you're going to give this a shot, here are a few pro tips to really make it work for you. First, don't be afraid to play with the time. If 25 minutes feels too short, hey, try a 50-minute sprint. Also, try using a physical timer. It's a great visual cue that helps keep you off your phone. And probably the most important tip of all, respect the breaks. Do not skip them. They're not a suggestion. They are a critical part of what makes this entire system work. Because, when you really get down to it, adopting the Pomodoro technique is about so much more than just managing your time. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about getting work done. This quote, it really says it all, doesn't it? Work smarter, not harder. The whole point isn't to chain yourself to your desk for more and more hours. The goal is to make the hours you do work actually count, to make them focused, intentional, and way more effective. Ultimately, what this method gives you is a simple, practical way to take back control, to build that fortress around your attention in a world that is literally designed to steal it. It's about getting to your goals not by just gritting your teeth, but through a smarter, more sustainable way that cuts down on stress and burnout. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Whether it's finally getting that inbox down to zero, or diving into that chapter you need to study, or maybe taking that very first step on a creative project you've been putting off, what's the first thing you're going to conquer with your new Pomodoro timer? Just give it a try. You might be shocked at what you can get done in just one focused 25-minute sprint.